like most tabletop RPG YouTubers, I'm gonna make my first video a story. Oh boy, this is a special one. Now, this is quite a bad story. Now, but most tabletop RPGs in D&D are a good thing because they have social, they have teamworking skills, they have good imagination, etc. But you see, someone could ruin all these great experiences for you. And this person who ruined our experiences is called Ryan. Now Ryan is probably decent now, but these stories, oh boy do these stories prove something. Anyway, so our first story about Ryan. Oh yeah, and just to clarify, this was in an online game. So, the game was Mutants and Masterminds, and in this game, it was like D&D, because it had the D20 and stuff, but you could be a superhero or a supervillain, so you had two powers for that. And the story was, we're in a school where basically it was for like heroes and villains, and they could basically train their skills. And we were in like year 2, because in this game we did like separate years, and so we're currently on year 2. So basically it's had different like mini campaigns. Ryan was basically this weird Japanese kid, well in the game he was, who could transform into a dragon. His hair was red and his parents were killed. So yeah, he was a bit of a weeb. Anyway, so we had these players, and there's only like one important person, well, actually two important people per person, the GM, and this friend, let's just call him Alex. So Alex was on this mission, and there was this person who basically had ghost powers, and that was the person who was trying to capture. So then they started playing this like music from a cartoon as a joke. I think it might have been Danny Phantom. And then Ryan suddenly said, is Danny Phantom an anime? Everyone was just like, dude, Danny Phantom isn't an anime, what is wrong with you? Or I think that's what they said anyway. Anyway, what matters more is that basically he was being the most annoying like person there. He kept spamming, saying that he wanted to play. He's driving basically everyone to insanity. Now, basically everyone in the table like wanted to basically tear him limb from limb. So then the GM then said, okay everyone, let's stop the game. And so Ryan basically was being naive and then just left. Then he got bored and then joined the game again. And he was basically trying to be like clever by saying stuff like, oh, like the genie is supposed to fall and all that. And basically the GM was so pissed that he had to actually end the game, and continued for a while, but we stopped playing after that. Our next story in the Rhine chapter is a Pokemon game. So the GM of the previous game wanted to do a Pokemon game. So everyone was okay with that, and we started playing. So and so we started off. Ryan wanted to be a trainer who wanted to do all the tournaments and be the best Pokemon master. So he chose a fire-type Pokemon. I forgot which like region this was, so I'm just gonna say it was Charmander. So then later on, we'll skip a few, like one session later, and we basically got some new trainers in the party, and we're basically fighting to prove which one's the strongest, if I recall correctly. So basically, then we start to fight, and he bets his hat, and we basically start. So all of a sudden we're fighting, and Ryan's Charmander gets knocked out. So then he says all of a sudden that he's going to fight the Pokemon himself, and then he starts kicking it and all that, and then the GM got pissed off at him again and sent him to Poke Prison. Good riddance, am I right? Alright, and now the last chapter, which is the less detailed one, but also one that's also quite easy to remember. So he basically made a game sometime later, and this was a zombie apocalypse game. So he basically like winged it and didn't like write anything down. He didn't have any research, or don't have much research on how to be a good DM. He ripped off the story from somewhere else. I mean, it's good to steal a story, but you can't just like take it exactly from that. You have to make at least some changes. And he didn't really like give any person to do, so it was pretty much on deadline. So the story was at least. Now, this was the story of Ryan, a bad player and a bad GM. So there is actually a plot twist to this, so stay here, right? So the plot twist is that Ryan, all along, was actually me. I'm Ryan. It's not my actual name. I did my real name. But yeah, I was Ryan. Yeah, I made some terrible mistakes back then. Have a flippin' lucky day. Like most tabletop RPG YouTubers, I'm going to make flippin' hell. D&D and other tabletop RPGs are like quite good. I don't want to say like really good, because